Hello friends, welcome to Jim Will Shave. This is a tag video. I'm actually recording this in the early hours of Monday morning. I'm just about to get ready, finish packing. I'm off away for 5 days. Somewhere around the East Midlands of the United Kingdom. That's where I'm going this week. Okay, so I've just got time for an early morning shave before I go. I don't normally shave this early in the morning. I normally do it night before, but couldn't be bothered. Plus, I didn't really have enough growth to do a YouTube shave. I don't like doing a YouTube shave if I've only got like less than half a millimetre, so it's grown out a little bit. Right, what are we using today? It's a tag video. And the tag is to use the first soap you ever used when you started traditional wet shaving. Now unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, I wish I'd chosen a different soap when I first started traditional wet shaving. Someone like what the other lads who've already completed a tag have used, like the Palmolive and such shave stick. But very first soap I ever bought when I first started to shave with a DE was Wilkinson Sword bowl. It was a blue bowl. You can't get them anymore. Now I got this black bowl some time ago. The main purpose for me buying this was to do YouTube videos, like recreate my first shaves, shaves you can pick up off the high street, so to speak. So this is readily available now, but it's the black bowl, no longer the blue bowl. I believe it's a different formula. I'm not too sure. It performs the same as the blue used to, and the scent is pretty similar. Now this, hear that? I've used this once or twice for YouTube, and it's not that old really. But it was tight fitting when I first got it. It's shrinking. It's actually shrinking in the bowl. The scent's still there, but it's shrinking in the bowl. And I think Kevy Shaves had one of these once, and he'd left it, must have been 2 years or so. And it was, he picked the bowl up and it was actually the size of a 10p piece, or 50p piece rather. Yeah, so this stuff shrinks. Scent puts me in mind of barbers a little bit. Well, it's like brill cream, bit of a citrus in the back, the scent. Give it about a 3. It's a rock hard soap. Well, it's not mega hard, it's not like a triple milled soap, but it's hard. But you can pick this up on the IC for a couple of quid. Now, like Paul Speller, the guy who tagged me, he used his first razor. Now, it's either the first or second DE razor I ever purchased. It was on the high street, and it was the Wilkinson Sword. This is the Wilkinson Sword with a metal insert inside the hand. It's plastic, 2-piece, just comes apart like so. That comes off. Base plate doesn't detach from the handle, and in there, just like I did back in the day, I've got a brand new Wilkinson Sword blade. The German Wilkinson Sword, not the Indian, not the Gillette Wilkinson Sword. That's the blade I'm using today. This isn't the razor I shaved with back in the day. Again, this is something I recently acquired on eBay. You still can get them on eBay, brand new. This is one at least recently acquired on eBay. And again, the reason I bought this was just for YouTube videos. So it's the Wilkinson Sword soap bowl, Wilkinson Sword razor, the plastic one. There is a metal one out now. I can't remember for the life. It's the one Paul Speller used in his tag video. So go back, check out Paul's video. He's using a later model of this, the metal model. Butchered myself for this back in the day because I didn't know how to shave properly. I shaved with it, I used it as though I would a cart, and I butchered myself. So it didn't last long. So that's it. We've got the Wilkinson Sword blade, Wilkinson Sword razor, Wilkinson Sword soap bowl. Now you're thinking, he's going to get the Wilkinson Sword brush, isn't he? Well, if I can find one up here, I should have dug this out before, but I think I do have one somewhere up here. I do indeed. I do indeed. I've had this years, guys. Again, it's not my first one. It's quite stiff. It's a bore brush. It's a very low density knot, but it's a couple of quid on the high street. That'll get you started in shaving, no problem. But I'm not going to use that today, because this soap, it's not the best soap in the world, and this brush doesn't do it any favours. So I'm going to use another brush And it's going to be my recently required Flanders brush. Call this Flanders because it reminds me of the green of the fields, you've got the red of the poppy and the blue of the sky. So I'm using it's got a fair bit of backbone in it, and that should cope well with the hard soap. Okay, so I'm going to wet the brush, load the brush from the puck, and I'm going to whip it all up in my super-sized executive shaving super duper lathering bowl. I'm not going to put you through that, but I'll be back once I've done it and I'm ready to shave. So stay tuned, see you all soon, guys. Hi, I'm back. Okay, just lathered up. Actually, it was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be, but there's a lather. Sorry, excuse me. There's the lather I've produced. Look, it's looking quite shiny. Now, back in the day, when I first started, this is just the stuff I scraped out the bowl with my fingers. I'm just going to use that as a bit of a pre-shave. Back in the day, when I did start shaving with this soap, totally inexperienced. I'd only ever used gels and goo in a can before, shaving foam. Yep, slickness is okay. And I went off half cocked basically. I used that naff little brush. This is quite a good lather. Certainly wasn't this good back in the day when I used to use it. So it's only about £3. I might be wrong. It won't be far off. Yeah, back in the day, like a lot of guys that start traditional wet shaving, I mean, didn't really have YouTube then, and it's not a subject you went to work and talked to the lads at work about. It was all trial and error, and if you did try to get advice from any of your work colleagues, chances are they'd all be shaving with electrics or cartridges, and they'd think you were absolutely insane if you told them that you weren't using stuff that came out of a can. So it was all trial and error back then. A lost art. So I basically used to use that naff brush really. Well, you get what you pay for. And I just used to swirl it around the top of the soap, paint it on the face. I didn't know about building a decent lather and adding enough water for slickness, etc. In fact, when I first used this soap, I was probably using a disposable razor with it, to be fair. But now I know better. I know a bit more about lathering, because it's not rocket science really at the end of the day. You just need to be guided on the way. That's all you need. So there we have it. That's bowl lathered. Again, back in the day, I wouldn't have bowl lathered. I wouldn't have even considered it. It wouldn't have even entered my mind. Would have been straight into the puck, bosh, 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 painted on, and it would have afforded very little protection. You'd have just been preying on slickness. So here we go. No blade overhanger on this razor. It's all enclosed, so quite safe. But as I say, a fair bit of blade feel really. It's quite surprising. Yeah, so Paul Speller tagged me in this video. Thank you, Paul. Just thinking who I can tag. Because this tag's been going a while now. So some of the fellas I would have tagged have already been tagged. Let's think. Gordon Christie. Your tag, bud. Show us your first soap you ever used for a traditional wet shave. We don't see a great deal of Gordon, or we haven't done recently, on the tube. For such a cheap razor, it's a nice Of course it's mild, but there's a little bit of blade feel to it. Well, it must be if I shaved myself, hacked myself to pieces with it all those years ago when I first used it. It's quite a nice razor. Oh, again, thank you. Some of you have very kindly jumped aboard my new channel and subscribed to get me off the ground. That is much appreciated. I appreciate you all. So hopefully I'll be able to record a midweek shave. I might be sharing a room with a colleague this week, so obviously if we're sharing the accommodation, I'm not going to stand up like this and record a shave. He'll think I'm stark raving bonkers. Okay. Okay, you got slickness there. Not a lot. Not a lot, has to be said. But I'll tell you what, for such a cheap soap, there's nothing wrong with this lather. Okay, it's not as good as an Arco stick or a palm olive that some of you guys were lucky enough to first shave with, but when I started my journey, you just really didn't see that stuff around. But if you did, you wouldn't be drawn to it because you wouldn't know what you were looking for. Well, this is doing the job nicely. So I only loaded about 20 seconds. And I thought it'd be here for quite a while, lathering up actually, but no. And it doesn't seem to be dissipating. It seems quite good actually. Across the grain. Yeah, but I used to get awful results from this soap back in the day. But I just wasn't using it correctly. Look at that. That's that horrible little tiny spot I've been struggling with for ages now. Pleased to report the one on the lip has finally stopped after many weeks. Not a nick, it's a zit. It don't count. I haven't used the Wilkinson German blade for a while. Anyway, how are we all doing? And anyway, I better start tagging. I've only got one tag, Gordon Christie. Let's take it across the pond. DK. DK is well into his soaps. I'm sure he'd have something interesting. I think the Red Island Shaver, I think he's already been tagged. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has. So up to now I've got Gordon Christie, DK, doing good, it's doing good. I'm just going to try and stop that little spot from bleeding there. Don't need to, but why not? I just want to see how this lather performs over the top of the styptic, because usually alum and styptic don't get along together. That's why you don't see me using styptic during my straight shaves. A lot of straight razor shavers do, just to help grip the skin to stretch. See, you can hear that where I did the styptic. You see, it's the lava's struggling to stick there. That's why I don't use styptic that much, because the alum just doesn't get along with the lather. In fact, it's virtually killed the lather on that part of the face. And it's going to my mouth. Okay, against grain, guys. Yes, so hope you all have a good week ahead. Now, this video I'll probably be uploading Wednesday as my midweek video. And hopefully I will get one in whilst I'm away. That'll be probably be posted as my weekend video. Ooh. Just missing a shed load of bristle here. I think I paid about $5 for this razor, brand new on eBay, still in its packaging. If you go back a couple of videos, I see me using it. But I'm riding the cap into the cheek there to get those stubborn stubble, and I'm struggling. And the slickness isn't there really. See the skin dragging with the blade? That means there's not an incredible amount of slickness. But it's getting the job done. Cheaply. But yeah, you get products like this in the supermarkets. Bulldog's the worst one, Bulldog shaving soap. Poor guys, if you ever see Bulldog shaving soap in your supermarket, stay well away. It is SH1T. It don't work at all. But likewise, new shavers will pick up products like this, and you don't realise there's a whole world of different stuff out there online, shaving supplies, etc. And they can be put off because they think, oh, I'm not using that soap all the time, or I'm not using that razor or these blades. It's not until they stumble upon somewhere like Facebook groups or YouTube that they realise there's a whole choice out there. Yeah, so if you're new to shaving and you're using this high street stuff, it's okay, but it's bigger and better things out there, much better. But I'm sure a lot of people watching this now probably start off the same way. It's quite good on the neck. And this is the trickiest side of my neck. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Those cheek, you know when you get that real stubborn stubble in the cheeks where you have to ride the cap? A mild razor, you really do struggle there. I haven't packed any shaving gear yet, so remind me at the end of the video, will you please? Otherwise I'll be stuck with a shavette all week and a boot shave stick. Ooh. Just a little bit of pick up there. Now I don't normally shave in this direction on this part of the neck. It goes to show how different individual razors can be. Just going to touch up down here a little bit. Yeah, so this soap, it'll probably be shrunk away soon. Don't be anything left of it. I won't be rushing out to replace it. Yeah, the old Wilkinson sword soap served me well for years. But I'm well drawn out of it now. And that remaining residual slickness, as you could hear, it washed away within, after 5 seconds. It's non-existent. So it's a very, yeah, the lava looked okay. It's, it wasn't thin. It was there, but didn't have a heck of a lot of slickness. But it got the job done. And bear in mind, I was using a very, very mild razor there. And BBS. So that cheap soap, it did the business. Post shave feel, doesn't feel too bad actually. Obviously not as good as modern soaps, but feels quite nice. Good shave. Right, for afters, again, when I just didn't, aftershave, I never even used to use it, you know, even in my younger days. But chances are, if you're getting stuff off the high street, you'd end up like with tea tree and witch hazel. This is my own mix. It was a Boots tea tree and witch hazel. I just bought some of my own witch hazel, bought some tea tree oil online and mixed my own. That's what I'm using now. If you're new to shaving, this is better for you. Just put your splash on before you go out the door for work or wherever you're going. But witch hazel, one of the best things you can put on your skin as an aftershave. Doesn't dry it out, but it makes everything sterile. So there we have it. I'm happy with that. I wasn't looking forward to this because that Wilkinson sword soap bowl, it's not something you'd think, oh God, I can't wait to get up and have a shave of that in the morning. But there we go, it is what it is. It's a budget product off the high street, and it was my first ever traditional wet shaving soap. Okay, so the recap, tag video. Wilkinson sword soap bowl, easily available on the high street. Use it quickly, because within a year it'll be shrunk away. But I actually used to use the full tub. Actually used to use the whole bowl of this stuff. That's how much I used to use it. The blue one. Razor for today was the Wilkinson sword. Classic. Plastic one with a metal rod insert in there. That's the rod bouncing around in there. Blade in there for today was the Wilkinson sword from Germany. not the Gillette, Wilkinson from India, the German one. And soap was whipped up in my Exec Shaving super duper size lager bowl with my Flanders Fields 26mm synthetic knot, and that was all finished off with tea tree and witch hazel. Right, I'm off to work now. You will enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe, guys. I'll see you all further down the line, and thanks for popping by.